Hello.
Welcome to Tight 10 Tickles,
Now
Season 7,
brought
Episode 6.
now brought to you by JP Streams
live stream.
HGTV. What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm not sure
JP
what's
live
happening.
stream.
Anybody that's watching on our page can see. Yep, there we go. I'll just show this. That's appeared. MD Moser Ali, if you're watching, you seem to be restreaming our show on a live link. There are other options available if you don't want to go on this live link. You can watch us on YouTube. You can watch us on the Facebook channel right now, and we're also on Twitch.
We are indeed. We also, by the way, have no idea who this person is.
We don't know who this person is. But if you're watching MD Moser Ali, then hello and welcome to the show. I don't know if this is the first time you've watched, but obviously, if you're watching live, you can interact with Chris and I, and maybe help influence some of Chris's decisions on his quest. If you're watching after the show's ended, then
that's a really meta thing to do, though, when you think about it. Because if someone's streaming something and then you're re-streaming their stream,
yep.
And then in the re-stream you're making comments on the Facebook page here, affecting what's happening on the mainstream, therefore affecting what's happening on the restream. This is it's getting quite layered and meta.
It is, no,
it's a confusing thing.
It's like Inception.
Yeah. An explanation would be nice, though. I mean, I had a look at the website. It's a bunch of random ass content that's been uploaded in the last 5 days, and we seem to be at the top of the list or the end of the list. No idea why.
We could be part of a new kind of innovative streaming service, and we get in at the kind of ground floor.
Well, I hope not, because there was some kids' TV shows on there too. I have absolutely no idea. But the thing is, it's weird because when you restream something, you're usually trying to turn a profit off it. Except that we don't make any money off this. So there's absolutely no way you're going to.
This doesn't make any money off it. It's the money's flying in for me.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I'm just honestly, I'm thinking of retiring.
Every now and again, John buys me a pint. That's my pint.
I'll buy you a pint for your troubles. Yeah, no, absolutely. As Chris has rightly said, we just do this out of love.
Love for the written word.
Love for each other.
Love for each other in a very real and in fact, John has proved today that he is one of the only people that during this 12-day holiday that I'm on can get me out of my pajamas.
There you go. I'm actually in my pajamas right now. So
I'm on pajamas in the bottom half. I literally was wearing nothing but a dressing gown all day until the stream started. I've just been sat. Literally, I was writing comedy. On Tuesday, Scott grew up fast from last time he was on. Did you tune back in, Andy, to see Scott, and you're horribly disappointed to see me?
If you're, this is Scott's Uncle Andrew.
Yeah.
I
have an Uncle Andy, actually.
Yeah, well, so does Scott.
You won't know this, being Scottish, but there's a Northern Irish TV show called Give My Head Peace. In fact, this is like a super meta shout-out because one of the characters in that, Daz, played by a guy who works with my stepdad on another comedy show, funnily enough. But anyway, there's another character in that show called Uncle Andy, who is a stout and staunch loyalist that frequents the Knee Breakers pub on the where is it now? Is it? Oh fuck! Well, the point is, he never works. He always claims multiple benefits. He's just a typical loyalist scumbag.
Yeah, well, that is none of the things that Scott's Uncle Andrew is. He's lovely.
Andy's lovely. Well, actually, Uncle Andy from the show is lovely. He just likes a drink and doesn't like the work. That's pretty much his whole character.
That sounds like me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he doesn't work.
Yeah, no, fair enough. So is this just on Irish telly, or is it?
This is what channel? This is on BBC. BBC.
Is it? I've never heard of it.
BBC, but in Ireland. I don't know if it broadcasts over here. I don't know how it works, but yeah.
If it's in Northern Ireland and it's in the BBC, we should have access to it here, surely.
I think you can get it on iPlayer, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking now.
Yeah, you should be able to. Give My Headpiece, it's called. But it's good. It's a good show because they tour Northern Ireland, and
Series 15.
It's been going a while. It started back in the 90s, I'm pretty sure, and then they took like 15 years off, and then they came back, and around the same, a year or two after, my stepdad and one of the guys from that show got commissioned on the BBC, so they're now on iPlayer as well. Actually, the long and short of it. Yeah, there you go. There's a shout out, David. That's my stepdad.
There you go.
Sounds like you back in the day, at staunch loyalist hanging out at the Knee Breakers pub.
Andrew is
He is an alcoholic, yes.
He's not an alcoholic. No, I was going to say he's a Rangers fan.
Oh, right, aye. Oh, there you go. See, that all does link up. I actually had a Rangers line I was going to use. I got sidetracked there, but the point I was making was on Tuesday, this man here, sorry, I should do it the other way. This man here will be hosting my first gig back in 20 months. So I actually had a Rangers line I was going to use, but
you can use it if you want.
Not here and now. I wouldn't.
No, not here.
Yeah, I probably will use it. Maybe open with it.
I didn't really finish my sentence. I was saying Andrew's a Rangers fan, but I don't think he's a staunch loyalist.
I had a dude that was roast battling when Rangers were second in the league. What was his name? I can't remember, but he's a Rangers fan, and at the time Rangers were second in the league, and I can't remember how I got to it, but basically I said that his wife says that's the only way he's going to come second.
It's quite good. I like that. I just feel like we're advertising something else other than this, and by extension, so is MD Moser Ali. As Chris pointed out, he's coming back to comedy next week. And his first gig is going to be at the Junkyard. First gig in how long?
20 months. So January 21. No, January 22 was the last gig that I did. So yeah, 20 months ago. It's mad. The only red hand I've had when I was painting. What? Do you have a name for that in Scotland, actually? So when you slap someone and there's a big handprint on them, is there a name for that over here? Because back home it's called a red hand of Ulster.
No, I don't. Not that I'm aware of.
Because I know that in America they call it a pink belly, because you slap someone in the stomach with it, and then they have this big handprint. They call it pink belly, but it's apparently no name for it.
I remember you won't know this, Chris, because you're significantly younger than me. But we had the adverts. You remember the Tango adverts?
I do remember the Tango adverts, actually. Yeah, you get Tango.
So they were doing that in school, and it got banned. You needed to stop tangoing people because it got quite.
Yeah, that happened with vapes. Not when I was in school, but when I've got a sister who's 11 years younger than me. So she was in school when I was a working man, but the vapes had to get banned in her school. A bunch of other stuff too. And there's also, what was those Tizer adverts? What was it? Where's your head at? They work with Basement Jacks. Where's your head at? That was Tizer did that, didn't it? It
was Tizer.
Tizer and Tango. No, Tango's the orange one, and Tizer was like red or something.
Yeah, Tizer's. Yeah, it was almost like. Was it not like the equivalent of because do Bar not do like a red cola? Was Tizer not like that?
Was Tizer supposed to be red cola?
I don't know. I think so.
I didn't even realize that. Red cola is such a weird. It's like cloudy lemonade, I suppose. But we've already got something. Why do you need it to be a different color or a different consistency?
Yeah, no, I don't. No idea.
Apparently, Timothy Spall guzzles cloudy lemonade. I heard that. Loves the stuff. Can't get enough of it.
This is like weird graffiti that you would see somewhere on a wall. Timothy Spall guzzles cloudy lemonade.
Get Spall some Cloudy Lemons right now.
Get Spall some Cloudy Lemonade stat.
It's that there's a song by George Watsky, who's a rapper. He's got a track called Pink Lemonade, and the hook of that track is, how do you make pink lemonade? And then someone in the background goes, pink lemons. And then it just repeats. How do you make pink lemonade? Pink lemons. How do you make pink lemonade? Pink lemons.
I think I'll put this chat away from the quest. Andrew, we do this like practically every week. There's about 40 minutes of this and then 20 minutes of this to go to quest time. Although we have
usually straight 40 minutes as well.
We have been questing a bit more with this one just because it's a kind of horror-y kind of. So we're enjoying that.
Good. It is real good, but it's got a problem that the other shows didn't have. Basically, when we died, and this one it's designed to be like quite short little bursts, and then you die, and then it sort of time resets.
Yeah, so it's
you
like
keep waking up in this dream. Yeah,
like
so. The problem is we often take like a month or two off.
I know,
when everything's gone, and I have far few notes. I need way more than this.
So if anybody is in the Hamilton area next Tuesday, Chris will be performing. See, even when I do that, I get you in the wrong direction. Chris will be performing at the Yard of Junk.
As will John. John will be hosting at the Yard of Junk. At the Scrap Heap. AKA the Scrap Heap. I just realised we should probably do, maybe just for Andy, we should do a podcast that's just talking and no questing. I'm starting to think.
Yeah.
Never make Andy stick around for the actual quest.
Absolutely, yeah, because Andrew actually told me before, because he phoned me up once about a year ago when we started doing this, kind of going, as soon as you started doing the kind of like sorcery stuff, I just fucked off.
Yeah, I think that's probably. I mean, it's definitely boxing out.
Absolutely,
potential audiences. It's just like blah 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 blah, talking shit, random tangents, and then I put on my wizard hat and cape,
and then that's it. And everyone's like, "I'm it."
It's just the diehards that stay on after this.
It's like when you go into a brand new club and you're enjoying yourself and you're chatting all night, and then you realise after midnight it turns into a BDSM club, and you're like, right, that's it, right, I'm out.
Or it depends. I mean,
no, absolutely, mate. I did actually. I have to say that did sound like the voice of experience talking there when I managed to pluck that story out.
When it reminds me of an old joke Stephen Fry told, which it was on a bit of Fry and Laurie, and he's like one of those talking heads on the street, and they stop and he goes, yes, it's terrible what the police are like these days. I was in home base buying a tin of paint for my daughter's birthday, and the police raided the place. Turns out it was a brothel. That's it. That's the entire explanation.
See it right now. See it. And Andrew says, and Andrew comes back home and just start talking shit again.
Genuinely, let's do that. Why not?
Imagine if we had to just kind of redefine the kind of just around Andrew away from midnight. Get some decision making in there.
It'd be funny if we had like a little counter of like how many viewers we have, right? As soon as it hits 0, we quest. As soon as it goes into positive numbers, we just talk.
And then because this is just for us now. As Andrew did rightly say earlier on, I don't know if I told you this, but Scott unfortunately failed in his quest.
Oh no!
He failed in his quest. He didn't quite get as far as you, but
vindicated. I wasn't beat by a 8-year-old.
Exactly, that's it. Oh, well done! You beat a 9-year-old. Well done, you. That's the thing. That's a lose-lose, isn't it? Either just kind of going, "Oh, well done, Chris. You did better than a 9-year-old," or you're just kind of going, he completed the quest.
Yeah, there's no way to look like a good guy in a fight against a child.
Yeah, there's no winner there.
No.
Well, the child's a winner. But it was quite. He just went to town. He was just making completely irrational yet hilarious decisions at times. And they were actually holding him in quite good stead. He was just, I'm just going to go over and talk to these goblins. You know?
I love it when bullshit lines up like that. But eventually he hit that one.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's kind of what happened. It was a silly mistake. What he did was a really silly mistake. Anyway, excuse me. Oh, sorry, tired.
I can see there's a cat tree. Is that new? You got a new cat tree there?
Yes.
Wow, very fancy. Tree. I've seen ones that go floor to ceiling, like big boys.
No, those are quite cool.
Cats really don't like it when you use it. Because it's like their space. So if you like climb in, they get really upset with you.
Yeah, they just kind of absolutely say, "How would you like it if I?" And how'd you like if I climbed into bed with you? Now I think, well, you do that quite regularly.
Yeah, all the time, yeah.
All the time.
It's all in the summer.
Exactly.
Yeah, I saw a video. Have you ever done this with cats? Whoa, hold on. Before we move on from cats, I saw this video earlier. Have you ever done this where you got 2 cats, right? Fudge and Mia, is that right?
Yep.
Have you ever had where they're like sat and then you sort of tap one and then look away so it thinks the other cat did it? And then you wait till it's not looking. I watched a video earlier of a guy doing that where he like tapped his cat and then looked away and the cat looked at the cat next to it and was like, and then he taps it again and it looks back at the other cat. He taps it last night, it spins around and bites the other cat.
What? No, that's terrible. That terrible thing.
Yeah, but it was kind of funny. It's fine.
Oh, yeah, no,
animal violence is fine.
Absolutely, it's just it's what we're here for. So you're. I don't know if you remember how it's a comb. I thought it was a feather for some reason. You remember where we ended?
Were we back at the house?
You're back at the house, and
Parker,
you had been.
Get me those photographs, Parker.
Spider-Man is a menace.
Why'd you wear a cape?
He doesn't.
I can't trust a man that wears a cape.
He doesn't.
I might do a cape. I'm in a mask. That's not what I'm going to say. I got so caught up in the J. Jonah Jameson mustache. Right, let's get rid of it.
I spent 5 minutes going, he doesn't wear a cape, and you're going, ah.
I got caught up.
Basically what had happened was you had to do a composure check, which I think you passed.
I
did. You saw something lurking in the corner. And it was a hunched figure. You asked who it is, and then you find out that it's Edward. He's calling out to you saying, Frank, you saved me. Blah, blah. Do you remember all this?
Yeah, vaguely.
So anyway, you notice blood dripping from the serrated edge of the claw at the end of his arm.
Yes,
he's not quite human.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then he lurches to one side and starts to shuffle out the darkness towards you, and you were left with a cliffhanger and a choice.
That's right.
And your choice was, do you decide it's all too much and flee the house? Do you use your flashlight to get a better look at the figure? Or do you ask more questions to find out exactly how this could be Edward?
No, I'm pretty sure last time we did ask more questions. Pretty sure. I mean, it was a long time ago. It was really long ago. So I think we already did ask. This is Edward Turn, who's apparently 12, but is old now with a claw hand.
Yep. It happens to the best of us.
It does, yeah. Okay. How about we just shine a flashlight on? Fuck it. Let's see what. Let's get a key on. Ease a geek at your pearly whites.
You raise the flashlight and flick the switch. Because I imagine if you just raise the flashlight and then nothing happens.
You raise a flashlight, it doesn't have any batteries. You find batteries, they're the wrong size.
And it just we do 40 minutes of kind of going, are these AAAs?
Yeah, well, that's like in like those like old Resident Evil games. It's like you find pistol ammo, and it's like the chances of this being the exact caliber of the pistol that we have got is unbelievable.
Just lying about as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's all over the police station. That's
just
2.
as well, there's all these med kits in the middle of this zombie-strewn city.
Yeah, just all over the place. You know, I just realized I don't have a torch on this phone. I don't know why. You mentioned torch and the ADHD took over, and now I'm going through trying to find. It does have a torch. It's just hidden in another menu. Sorry, I'm back.
Ooh. My watch has got a torch.
Wow. Hey, there we go.
What's this?
This is me taking a Snapchat photo for the boy that I like.
But I think it's quite cool that the watches have got a torch as well.
It's quite cool. Whenever you're wrist deep in somebody and you need to find your way out.
And you just ironically need to go back in and find your watch.
Yeah. It's easy to find though because it's blinding you when you're trying to get in it.
The guy that's restreaming this is kind of going, what is this?
It's not like your wedding footage or whatever those other ones were. Also, live streams a wedding.
I don't imagine next week we'll be worried about JP restreaming this next.
We like to scare off restreamers and sponsors.
We like to scare off the potential for a wider audience.
Yeah,
this is niche. This is
anything...
niche. We actually don't. Our target is for nobody to be watching this.
Yeah, the ideal situation would be it would just be me and John. No one would interrupt. No one would comment. No one would, and we wouldn't even have a live like hour. We'd just keep going till the book's done.
In the weeks where either Chris or I can't do this, the other one of us just sits in front of our computer screen and doesn't say anything.
Yeah, we have penciled this out and we're committed to using the time.
That's our perfect time. Is just can I go? No, I'm sitting here and I'm doing it. So anyway, you raise the flashlight, as we said, and you flick the switch. We get 15 minutes of flicking the switch. And the shape before you hisses loudly, raising its arms to cover its face. You are shocked by the sight. As you would imagine if you had just kind of, oh, he looks lovely.
Oh, look at him. He's got a full man's body, but a 12-year-old's face.
His face is that of a boy.
You see, last time I think it was like, do you want to shine a light at him? Do you want to talk to him? Do you want to run? Yeah. And I talked to him because I was like, if I shine a light at him, it's probably going to freak him out. And
so and then that's how you went.
It's freaking me out.
Absolutely. It's the face of a boy, but it's gaunt and sickly with a hunched, misshapen body. His torso is slightly twisted, while his right foot is turned and looks to be dead weight. His right arm is elongated, nearly twice the length his arm should be. And worse still, at the end, in place of a hand, is the hideous engineered prosthetic of a metal claw. It's a metal claw. The claw is articulated, wired, and jointed. It looks jagged and sharp. Hello.
I have a tangent for you.
Doing justice with a hello.
It just looks like someone really shit sock puppet.
Exactly.
I've got a tangent. I've got a tangent for you. You know.
Right.
You're being spoiled today.
Do it.
How long do you think it's going to be before, like, wealthy people are literally chopping off their own limbs to get cybernetic replacements?
A week.
It's next week. In fact, I have it on good authority. It'll be Wednesday.
I'll get my first prosthesis penciled in for next Tuesday.
It's like it would be unethical for us to do this on a working limb. Crunch. What working limb?
Ouch. I don't imagine it's in the too distant future.
Can't be. I mean, whenever I was in uni, which I graduated in 2016, so it was like a couple of years before that. So 2014, they were talking about how you get it was obviously for the military, for soldiers that had lost limbs in line of duty and stuff. And the specification they were given is you need an arm that a person without looking can reach into a mixed bowl or a bowl of mixed grapes or raisins, pick one of them up, and then be able to tell you without looking which it was. And they achieved that in 2014. And that was 10 years ago, basically. So they could already get touched 10 years ago. It's only a matter of time before it's like rockets and saw blades. If you go on Walt Disney, you've gone
That's
Walt
going to be a
Disney.
nightmare to pick up a grape with a saw blade.
What? Do you know that's always in
What did I
movies? You were just frozen. That's always in movies. Like it's always like saw blades, rockets, like guns and stuff.
Oh.
But if you had to get like prosthetic limbs, what would you like? What like a bottle opener would be much handier. like you pull that bit of your finger back and you've just got a bottle opener underneath.
Yeah.
Also,
I'd probably go with dildos. I'd go with dildos.
Edward Dildo
Dildos
Hands, which
arms.
is a film. That's a film. Edward Dildo Hands is a porn parody of Edward Scissorhands, and he does have 2 fist-sized dildos on his arms. I'll Google it right now and share my screen.
I wonder if no, don't.
I won't. And I've just realised it's not Dildo Hands; it's Penis Hands.
Right, okay. Yeah, don't do that. Don't share your screen.
Oh, sorry. No. My bad. A door-to-door. Sorry, I'll read the synopsis. How about that? I'll read the synopsis.
Read the synopsis, and then we'll get back. We'll get back to the quest.
Sure. Edward Penis Hands, 1991. A door-to-door dildo saleswoman stumbles across Edward, and upon discovering the ... advantages of his hand substitutes, brings him home, where he falls in love with her daughter.
So somebody basically, Edward Scissorhands came out in 1990, so someone made that film within a year.
What I like to imagine is they watched it and then they immediately went to like casting decisions, and they were like already on the bus home. They were already thinking about everything.
I suppose you need to, right? You need to kind of catch the kind of zeitgeist, if you will, and you need to, because like there'd be no, if Edward Scissorhands came out in 1990, you don't wait to 97 to come out with, you have to kind of. But I mean, they must have been pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, right and also he's handy with it. I've seen clips. I'm sure me and my pals discovered this years ago. There is bits where he's properly like just going for it.
We'll put the link in the chat.
Yeah, put the link.
Put the link in the chat later.
I was just reading it off IMDb. Imagine having to write the IMDb article for that.
I know, that's it. I'm just wondering. I don't know how. I'm saying a lot. Just I'm very tired. I don't know how Facebook would feel about you linking porn.
It wouldn't be porn. It would be the IMDb page of a porn.
Oh no, I was going to try and actually find the full streaming.
I think I imagine. I mean, it's 91, so you probably could find the full thing for free somewhere. But like,
yeah, I imagine you would. It's probably public domain, the pubic domain.
Porn enters the public domain. It'd be funny if it. I mean, it pretty much enters the public domain instantly, because there isn't a single porn film that any pay blocker has ever managed to actually block. I think the economy of the internet would collapse if they made all porn paid. Like, it's all free, pretty much. Or if you're an addict, you can pay for extra.
This is okay. I don't even. Oh yeah, this is my fault. I was going to say, where did this come from? But it's my fault, as it always is, because you asked me what my prosthetic would be, and I went dildo. So this is on me.
And I showed my research.
It's like when you do math. If you do like a maths exam, you have to show you're working.
Please, you have to write a paper on why that's your choice and show your references. You have to reference the IMDb page for Edward Penis Hands.
So
Penis Hands has a better ring to it than Dildo Hands.
Yeah, it does. It does. It absolutely does. If anybody ever wants to see like a kind of clean version of this show, as I said, I'm starting to do it with Scott now, and we didn't mention dildos at all. And
I love how you're pulling people away from our stream to go to the other one that I'm not in.
You're welcome in that one as well. I'm just saying. I was just like, there's a beautiful innocence to when I'm doing it with Scott. I think I accidentally said arse last Sunday.
I bet that was a big thing.
It was like Scott just went. Oh,
boy,
anyway,
yes,
this guy's just got a light shone in his face for the past 25 minutes while we chatted. It's like,
he's been sat there listening to penis hands.
Just kind of going, what is this? The internet's not even invented yet. It's 1920s.
That's right.
Oh,
well, he's got claw hands and stuff. I suppose they had those even before then.
Yeah. Off! Turn it off! His cry of anguish chills your soul, but he also sounds angry, as you would. What'd you do? Do you do as he asks and turn off the flashlight, or press the advantage and try and get some answers first?
I'll turn it off. You know what? I don't think you can tell me anything I don't already know.
Yeah, fair enough.
Maybe you can. I suppose the time travel
thing. Equal parts revulsion. Feeling equal parts revulsion and pity for the thing before you do as he asks and you turn off the flashlight. You're so different. How? His voice is lower now, sounding more scared, more like the young boy he appears to be. What do you want to ask? Do you ask where he's been all this time? How does he seem to still be only 12 years old? Or do you ask about the bizarre claw and the physical changes?
I don't remember what we asked him before, so I'm going to ask why he still looks like a wee boy. That seems like a dangerous line of questioning. That's like the kind of thing that in movies would set the psycho off, wouldn't it? It's like, why? I am a little boy. I am a little boy.
Or even worse, you just kind of go, why are you still just a wee boy? And then the police come in at that exact point. You go, he's not as young as he looks, Your Honor.
I'm a cop.
I am 12, he replies, as puzzled and frustrated as ever. Why does that matter? Go and save my family. You promised me. He reaches out a pocket and retrieves a small diamond-shaped object that glows gently and then moves towards the machine.
Now remember this.
Remember this.
We're about to get pushed through a portal.
Yeah. Edward inserts the diamond-shaped object into a recess on the side of the machine. It begins to hum. He then turns some of the dials in frustration. Which is it? Frank! He looks up at you with a pleading look in his eyes. What do you need me to do? You answer, horrified at the entire macabre scenario that's playing out before you. He steps back, pointing at the dials. You must know how to activate it, like before.
Oh, God.
His frustration is growing and seems it may lead to violence. You don't know how much longer he will restrain himself. What are you going to do? You're going to approach the dials and attempt to operate the machine, or tell Edward you've never seen this device before and you don't know how to operate it?
Right, so last time we went to the dials, and as I recall, they were like dials we could turn to different numbers, and we turned it to something and then got pushed through a portal and ended up back where we were in a dream. Something like that. I think is what happened.
If you think that's what happened, then
I need to shut the fuck up and just be like, yeah, and prompt you to tell me, fuck. Do you know what? Curveball. I'm going to say I have no idea how to work this machine. Tear my face off if you need to, son. But you need to ask this question at least once.
When you tell him that you don't know how to use this machine, you're not very surprised by his response. Edward cries out in a rage and slams the floor with his claw. The floorboards splinter and crack as a metal appendage rips through it. Faster than you could possibly expect. He comes at you and latches his claw around your arm. He drags you painfully towards the machine and you lose 1 health point.
Pish in the pool.
Yep. So your health's down to 9. You must try.
Okay, here we go then.
You don't believe he means to hurt you, but you plead with him to release your arm and he does so. You decide it's best to try and do as he asks. This was just a collection of like pressing stuff, wasn't it? The last time, I don't know if you remember.
It was dials or something, I thought. Maybe I'm
yeah.
wrong.
I'll try. Give me a moment, you plead, as you take a closer look at the device. The metal of the device is smooth and polished. 4 prominent dials are set into the pillar and are etched with a single point, denoting where they can be adjusted to. Small notches encircle each dial, similar to a dial on a safe, and one notch resting directly at the east point is larger than the others. You writing all this down?
No. I haven't started writing yet.
Do you want me to repeat that?
Give me the prompt. It was. I know. Sorry. Go again. Yeah. Just give me again.
4 prominent dials are set into the pillar and are etched with a single point each, denoting where they can be adjusted to. Mm-hmm. Small notches encircle each dial, similar to a dial on a safe, and one notch resting directly at the east point is larger than the others. You surmise this could be denoting a 0 position.
Yes.
There are no other distinguishing marks or numbers. You believe they could be angular degrees based on the number of marks present around each dial. How do you want to set the first dial? You can set it to 100 degrees, 90 degrees, 190 degrees, or 75 degrees.
So it was 100, 90.
190 or 75.
So 190, 190 or 75.
100, 90, 190 or 75.
Okay, thank you. And is there just one dial? There's multiple dials, isn't there?
Yeah, this is how you wish to adjust the first dial.
Let's go 190.
190. Da, da, da. You turn the first dial to what you believe would be around about 190 degrees. How do you wish to set the second dial? Do you wish to set it to 45 degrees, 121 degrees, or 37 degrees?
Jesus Christ. Give me 37. I'm actually writing these choices down this time, so next time I'll have it.
I think there's a lot of diversity here. You turn the second dial to what you believe to be 37 degrees. How do you want to set the third dial? Do you want to leave it on 0 degrees, set it to 90 degrees, or set it to 47 degrees?
Let's go 47, whatever. 190, 37, 47. There we go. Got them marked. Shan't be forgetting.
Dial to what you believe to be 47 degrees. How would you like to set the fourth dial?
I thought there was only 3. Okay, what's the fourth?
You leave it as it is. It's currently set to 17 degrees. Do you wish to set it to 100 degrees or set it back down to 0 degrees?
So are these supposed to... I'm not sure what the relationship between these is. I don't know if they're adding up to something or if there's some way to figure this out. So hold on. If I look, 190, 37, 47, 7 7's 14. That's 84 plus 190 is 274. And with what's left, I can't make anything useful. 274. If you added whatever, let's go 100.
100.
There we go. Choice is locked in. Although it will take years to get through all permutations at that.
Absolutely. You set the fourth dial to 100 degrees and step back from the device. Suddenly, a bright flash of green light shoots upwards from the sphere atop the machine. A low thrum pulses in the air, and the light flickers slowly at first, and then faster and faster until it becomes a solid beam.
Oh.
You back away, not knowing what to expect. Edward stares intently at the beam of light. Yes, he cries excitedly. You did it. And we've just got Noah saying, hey.
Hello. How's it going? So we got 190, 37, 4700. Beam in the air. Let's go.
Yep. The sphere starts to tilt, sending the beam downwards, coming to rest parallel with the floor. Where it strikes the attic wall, it seems to form what can only be described as a doorway.
Yeah, this happened before.
A bright orange light penetrates from the other side of the portal, creating a haze that competes with the eerie green glow from the device. Gonna get killed in a minute, aren't you? Go now! Imagine if you got this right.
I know, like just total luck, second go. I don't know. I don't even want to try and figure out how many options there are there.
I know, absolutely. Go now, Edward cries. Go before it is too late.
Or forever hold your peace.
Equal part terrified and fascinated, you step up to the shimmering doorway. The thrum of the machine pulses through your head. Now!
Yeah.
Edward cries.
Do it now, son! Stop fucking about there!
You consider the possibility of dashing to the attic stairs and getting as far away from this nightmare as you can. But before you can, Ed loses patience and pushes you through. You stumble
pushy boy.
Through the portal.
All right. What hellscape is on the other side of this? Fuck.
A quick flash forces your eyes shut, and then you open them again as you emerge on the other side. A searing heat incinerates you instantly. Your calculations are wrong. Your calculations are wrong. You have emerged on the surface of a burning star. Recording your investigator journal, you went through the portal and you died instantly on the surface of the sun.
What? I was on the surface of the sun. I wouldn't even have to. Okay, right. Option 1, surface of the sun. Do you know, this is really weird. I once had a plot point in a D&D campaign I was running. It's actually technically Pathfinder, but whatever. And there's a god in the dungeons, in the Pathfinder lore, and Tianjia lore, called Shizuru, which is like the god of the sun. And I made it a big plot point that people were looking for a thing called Shizuru's door, which is funny because this is a door as well. So the party went and they gathered this up eventually, and they were told by the sort of inside man that they should not be opening this door. But people get it and open it, and it is literally just a door, like a portal to the surface of the sun. And I had to look up so much about what happens after ionization of air and like nuclear fallout and stuff, because basically for like a split second the surface of the sun like appears over the city, which is immediately enough time for it to turn the air, to ionize the air and cause a huge fusion explosion. So I basically had like the rest of the campaign, they had the fallout from this sort of nuclear event. And now it's happened again, but on me, and now I know how that feels.
But something interesting has happened here. You had 4 mythos points, and your death there has caused you to lose 3 mythos points. So this is the first time your character died, and you are starting again, still with 1 point.
My God, if I get enough mythos points, I might be able to seduce Cthulhu, which is the ultimate end goal of this campaign. Is to get fresh with Cthulhu.
That's the name of the actual game. It's called Get Fresh with Cthulhu.
Yeah, it's called The House on Sentinel Hill, Get Fresh with Cthulhu. The blurb on the back is, do you like well-written, immersive, cosmic horror with its own soundtrack available on YouTube? And also, have you ever wanted to fuck or be fucked by Cthulhu? That's what it says on the back.
Then this is a book for you.
And this is the right level of tentacles for you.
Welcome, adventurer.
To tight 10 tickles.
So anyway, you just basically get instantly incinerated. And suddenly the year is 1926, September the 23rd. The time is 4:45 p.m. The fading sun casts a great silhouette across the crumbling road as your Chevrolet bumps and crunches its way through the falling leaves.
What's this, look, number 4 or 5 now?
I think this is look number 5. I'm not sure. The multicolored tree line sways in the early fall breeze, with most of their leaves still clinging on. The roadside thickets and overhanging trees clip the side of your automobile every few feet. You hear cracks and snaps as the twigs that strayed too far break off or are snapped under the wheels. The town of Durham must not get many visitors, at least not using this route. The birds are singing, however, with chirps and songs aplenty, seemingly taking no notice of your intrusion. You're thankful, at least, that the area is not silent.
Lovely.
For if it weren't for the bird song, you fancy that it would be slightly foreboding to the outsider. You shrug off these fanciful thoughts and emerge from under the canopy of leaves. That's horrible.
Sorry, I've heard this so many times. I get bored. You never seen that before?
No. That's disgusting.
It's really vile. It's really bad. Let's keep moving.
Yeah, let's keep moving forward. The trees turn out and become meadows, extending far on both sides of the road. The tall grass. The
tall grass
sways in some, while others are clearly victims of the harvest, bare and flat. A beaten up old sign nailed on a thick post reads Durham. Squinting through the glare of the low sun, you see the town up ahead. You enter the town and pull your vehicle into a garage. The sign over the place reads Pete's Fuel Depot. You'll be shocked to hear.
Here we go again.
You don't need fuel just yet. You've more than enough for the time being. You're looking for directions to Sentinel Hill before it gets too late. You had hoped to arrive hours earlier, but took a wrong turn in Kingsport. Damn it.
You ever seen this one?
The garage. The garage has just one pump and looks a little run down. A little run down pump is better than no pump at all.
A one pump
The
jump.
paint is peeling. One pump jump. The paint is peeling from the wood panelled walls, and there's no sign of the attendant.
Yeah.
Stepping out of the automobile, you look up and down the street, thankful for the opportunity to stretch your legs. It's quiet. You spot an elderly lady shuffling along on the other side of the road, paying you no heed. There is not another soul around. Do you wish to ask the old lady for directions or ignore the woman and enter the garage?
Do a shite. I don't want to talk to this old lady. I also don't want to go into the garage, but I guess we'll go into the garage.
Go into the garage, that's your choices.
You're
just trying to get back on the road.
The only part of the game that I feel like I've fully explored. There's nothing left for
that
me.
old woman. Yeah, exactly.
After everything.
The door to Pete's garage is old and battered looking. The once white paint, cracked and peeling, reveals a dull grey wood underneath. A heavy rusted padlock is attached to the frame of the door. The latch is open and bent out of shape from a countless number of nightly lockups. Hello? You call out. No answer. The windows appear to have several years' worth of grime in them, making it impossible to see inside. You step inside the door, creaking all the way, and enter a dusty, dry room.
Here we go again.
Motes float through the air, illuminated by what slivers of light can make it through the filthy windows. A long counter runs through the centre of the room, dividing it in two. On your side, the room is bare. On the other side, there's more clutter than your grandmother's attic.
I am having a flashback to maybe the first time we did this, where the only thing I could think, I don't remember if I said it out loud, was filthier than my grandma's toilet seat, which is something a buddy said to me about a dubstep drop back in like 2011. He was like, this drop is filthier than my granny's toilet seat, and I was like, oh, dude.
Rotting cardboard boxes stand in one corner, stacked precariously and leaning away from the paint-filled walls. That's an image that's going to stay with it. A battered-looking chair sits in the opposite corner, and various knickknacks, car parts, empty bottles, old overalls, and pieces of newspaper lie strewn around the rest of the place. The counter is bare, save for a small service bell.
Yeah.
Do you wish to ring the bell for service, or decide you won't get any help here and leave the garage?
I leave the garage.
Leave the garage.
I gotta do something. What I want to do is drive past the garage and just keep going.
Keep going, absolutely. Doubting you'll get much service here, you head back outside. You're only just out the door when you see a heavy-set man, possibly in his late 50s, standing by your car. He's wearing dirty blue overalls with Pete written across the breast.
Tell me, is he kicking the tires?
He appears to be lightly kicking one of your tires. What do you want to do?
Fancy that.
You want to approach the man and greet him, or stay where you are and wait for the man to notice you?
Approach him and greet him.
Stop kicking my tires, you prick.
Yeah. Here, back that in, son.
Stop that.
It's a fly.
You hail the man and walk towards your car. He seems to take no notice and walks to the front of the car, all the while looking at it. Hello, Pete, is it? You ask as you reach the car. Yes, sir, replies Pete, still looking over the vehicle. She's a beauty. He adds, not bad, sir. Not bad at all. If you don't mind it breaking down often, of course, sir. He smiles broadly. His wet is drier than his dusty boots. Still, he continues, I'll give you a fair price, all the same.
This boy's got a wit as dry as Gandhi's flip-flop.
It's not for sale. I need it. You're not too impressed with his assessment of your car. Suit yourself, sir. Anything I can help you with? What will you ask? Do you want to ask him the way to Sentinel Hill, or ask him what he meant by breaking down?
Let's just ask him the way to Sentinel Hill. I know he's going to say take a left. That's it.
Yeah. Because you already know about the breaking down.
Yeah.
From the previous loop.
About 3 loops ago now, to be honest.
Yeah, it is 3 loops ago.
Jesus.
So, you ask him for directions towards Sentinel Hill.
Aye.
Don't get out that way much. The roads are bad. I know you take a left at the fork ahead, but not too sure after that. Best check at the post office just down the street there. Mrs. Wilkins knows this area better than anyone. You thank him once again as he turns and heads inside the garage, shutting the door beside him. You turn back to your car and then take another look up and down the street. Nobody is around. The place seems empty and uninviting. A cold breeze suddenly whips through the garage lot, blowing leaves up into a swirl. Do you want to get into your car and head on, or visit the post office so you can get directions?
What? Have we ever tried getting directions from the post office before? I don't think we did, because I think I decided to at one point, but I was like, oh, it might stop me from getting there during the day. This at the risk of repeating something, let's go to the post office.
Go to the post office. The post office sign is easy to spot and also designates it as a town's general store. A second sign in the window reacts. It doesn't react. My eyesight is just getting progressively worse. It doesn't react at all. It reads. It reads unlike me. A second sign in the window reads, Mrs. J. Wilkins, proprietor. As you enter, a small bell hanging from the ceiling chimes loudly. Be right with you, calls a woman's voice from the back room behind the counter. Moments later, the woman appears in the back room doorway. She's short and stout. Here's her handle, and here's her spout.
I was just trying to come up with a rhyme, and you were already on it.
She's short and stout, with long grey hair and a smooth, plump face. She smiles at you first, and then a quizzical look crosses her face. Good afternoon, sir. Have I seen you somewhere before?
I actually don't know. If we've actually
You
seen
look-
her look before.
Exactly. You look familiar. No,
I get
man.
that all the time.
First time I've ever been out this way. You reply. Oh, strange. No matter. It was just about a clothes. What you needing, sir? She asks. This is now my favourite voice.
Yeah. Sha?
You ask about the way to Sentinel Hill. She turns around to the shelves and starts to rearrange items. No one's allowed up there, not for many years. Why would you want to go there? She says, her back still turned. How'd you respond? Do you tell her you're writing an article about the strange murder case that you read about? Do you tell her you're simply curious about the house and need to find it before it gets too late? Or do you lie by telling her you've received a call from a colleague who's staying at the house? Or do you tell her you're interested in buying the place?
We did do this before, and we said we're interested in buying it, and she didn't help us at all. Yeah, that's unarchived, that memory. So there's 3 choices left. Either we're investigating the murders, we're lying, or we're saying, what's the other option?
Yep, your choices were you're writing an article about the strange murder case you read about. You tell her you're simply curious about the house and you want to get there before it's too late. Or you lie by telling her you received a call from a colleague who's staying at the house.
I can't tell a lie like that, because she could come back with, but the phone lines haven't worked around here since the war. And then if we go with, I'm just curious, she'd be like, well, then their curiosity killed the cat. So we go with option number 1. We tell her, we'll just be straight with her. We're writing an article on those murders.
Okay. You tell her that you're familiar with the stories about the house.
I done heard all the stories.
And you thought you'd look for yourself as you've always had a keen interest in such things. Oh, I see. She turns to face you. Not stories, oh sir. Facts. That turn boy, a bad one he was, even gave Reverend Down a tough time.
Reverend Dawn?
Down.
Dawn, like D-A-W-N?
D-O-W-N-E if you're making notes.
D-O-W-N-E, Down.
The Reverend left soon after the killings. Never seen him since. But then I suppose you know all of this already. Thing is, you can't go up there. No one's allowed to see. So sorry you wasted your time. If you make a start home, perhaps you'll make it before it gets too late. Now, if you'll excuse me. You return to your car. The town is quieter than ever, and the garage door appears to have been locked up for the evening. What do? You're going to drive on and search for the house, or call it a day and look for lodgings?
Drive on, search for the house.
Imagine if you just went looking for lodgings.
I know, right? It's just immediately give up. So hold on. Let me just. We said there that we're writing an article, and then the other time we said we're looking to buy. So both of those are out. Okay.
Yep.
Just making a note.
It's almost 6 p.m. and as you're rolling slowly towards the leaf-strewn road in the woods, keeping an eye out for the house. The evening is fast approaching, and the low sun is now obscured by dark clouds. The overhanging trees are in cahoots with the clouds, darkening the evening more as they form a tunnel that envelops the road. You switch on the headlights to improve visibility and prevent you from missing any telltale signs of the house's whereabouts. The road starts to slope upwards as you enter the hills that stretch out across the side of Durham town. A few minutes pass when you arrive at a fork in the road. The trees and brambles are thick, knotted together as though one was to strangle the other. Even electric lights from your car can't penetrate them to the other side. Protruding twigs and tree branches scrape off your car every few feet. There's no signpost at the fork. Do you wish to take the left fork or the right fork?
Left.
You take the left fork and the road starts to get a little bumpier. You soon arrive at another junction. You're going to continue straight on or turn right.
I think we've been turning right and getting lost. I think before we went straight on and broke down, which is what we're trying to get now. So straight on.
Straight on. As your car jostles your way through the uneven road, you come to a turn off to the left. You can take this turn or continue straight on.
For fuck's sake, don't do this to me. Left.
Oh!
So it was straight. Okay.
You want to turn left?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just trying to find it. You turn left, hoping to see the signs of the hill or even the house. However, with the light fading, you start to doubt what you're even doing. You contemplate turning around and taking a lodging in the town, but decide to confirm the house location first.
Fuck my
Have you
life.
recorded in your journal that your car radiator was fixed? Yes, you have.
Oh, wait, this is it? This is it?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
Brilliant. It is left.
So you know about your car radiator from a previous.
So it's left, straight left. I've got that written down now.
Your car bumps and jostles along the track, but remains as dependable as ever as it trundles on. You soon arrive at a small roadside clearing where a small truck has pulled in. The cabin is empty. Using your flashlight, you examine the area until you spot a rotted signpost in the tree line next to the clearing. Pulling out the remains, you can see the faded paint mark of what was once unmistakably the lettering Sentinel Hill.
That's it.
Investigating
Left, straight left.
Investigating further, you find a narrow gap at the tree line. You're just about to step through when a man appears through the gap. "Are you lost, stranger?" calls the man from within the glare of your flashlight. His voice sounds weary and strange.
No way, we actually made it. I think
Yeah.
the
Well,
next
it's
thing will have to be a cliffhanger.
you remember I've told you that you sometimes need to check your investigator journal.
Uh-huh. If it's got stabbed by an old man, then absolutely.
There's something to check in your investigator journal, which is not on your investigator journal. So you're forced into just talking to the man.
Sure.
I can't tell you what it is.
No, that's
On
fine.
your investigator journal, it was. All right, but anyway. Yes, I'm looking for Sentinel Hill. I found this article, you see. You call back in reply, holding up the newspaper clipping. "You're so curious. You've come all the way out here to see this old place." He reaches into his coat pocket. "That doesn't sound right to me. You're from university, aren't you?
Arkham.
I'll have no interference from the university here. Are you Professor Peabody?" you ask, suddenly realizing the connection with the house and the Miskatonic University. "Come to put a stop to my work. I won't return those Necronomicon pages.
Oh,
They hold the
fuck.
key. They hold the key to all of this." He gets very agitated, pulls out a revolver from his pocket and starts waving it around at you. "Now leave, before you can't leave at all." Record in your investigator journal, you were warned to leave the house alone.
Okay.
And also the reference number 335.
335.
Yeah.
Warned to stay away. 335. Does that mean there's 334 other instances of being turned away? On the topic of the Necronomicon, actually.
It's going to take you to. It's going to take.
On the topic of the Necronomicon.
Your mind.
I was going to say, it was my 30th recently. My good friend Harry got me a Zippo that is the Necronomicon from Evil Dead.
Necronomicon Ex Mortis.
The Necronomicon Ex Mortis, yeah.
You try to protest, but the gun changes your mind. You feel that you've got no choice but to leave.
Is that it? So all this time we need to get here during the day.
Yep. So there's still more information that you need to have before you get here at night.
And it wasn't warned to stay away, was it?
You can't help but wonder at the strangeness of the situation. Just what exactly is he doing up there? You head back to Durham, resolving to try again tomorrow, and we're going to leave it at that.
That is unbelievable. That, like, I've been banging my head 5 loops now of trying to get to this place because we're like, this will be the answer. It's like, no, it's not the answer. It's another question. Fuck, everything in this game is just more questions. I actually took good notes today, so I should be okay next week. But we need to get back to that post office and ask the other 2 questions.
I will tell you that this is the only piece of information I'm going to give you. The piece of information that you've just recorded on your journal
will help somewhere else.
Just from that altercation, we have been at a point where it has asked me if you had that piece of information.
I think I know where it is. Yeah, I suspect that would be at the front door of Sentinel Hill at night. I think that's exactly where it is. Because I'll be like, go to knock, and then be like, wait, hang on, he doesn't want anyone here. Let's creep in.
Well, you'll find out. Maybe not next week because we're gigging, but the week after that. Yeah. Do you know the good thing about this being the good thing about the fact that this one's been more sporadic is the fact that because it's not a loop, people every week aren't hearing me do the same spiel constantly. They're getting
a full recap after we take a massive break.
A full recap 3 weeks later. Right, anyway, we're gonna hit the road now. I am absolutely knackered. I'm going to my bed.
Have a good sleep, man. Enjoy your rest.
Have a good sleep. Guys, this has been season 7, episode 6 of Tight Tentacles. This episode was called Did You Mythos?
We were away for a while. Did you Mythos?
Did you Mythos? You kind of Cthulhu Mythos joke there. Did you Mythos?
I'm still keeping them coming. 6 episodes and you still coming up with them.
So there we go. This has been Chris Ashworth.
And this has been John Carruthers.
See you in 2 weeks when we tell you all about how next week's gig went, but we can't tell you about it now because it's not happened yet. And even though we are involved in time loops in the quest, it doesn't really work like that in real life. So next time you see us, we'll tell you how our gig together went.
We're reenactors, not pre-enactors.
Absolutely.